Hello, hello. I'm just thought I'd pop in with a very quick update on accessing the new Earth realms. I have spent the morning traveling and meditation and going to where I normally go, where I talk about visiting the Earth realm, the alternate higher frequency Earth realm, where I already took up residence years ago. I shared that in, I think it's Ascension Talk 1 and 2. I tell a story about meeting some other people there recently um, that are from Earth. They're not dead. It's not because it can also, there are realms of where you're just out of body after you die. We aren't dead, we're consciousness. We keep living on in different places, in different realms, and these other non physical realities. So I was questioning at the start because this is what, let me just back up. In case you didn't see the other video, this is a realm I have been going to as part of my shamanic path for many years. Was it's the realm of in Aquaro language is called Hanakpacha, if you're familiar with that. Okay. And Pachacuti is the um being, the multidimensional being that governs this realm. And so, in order to get to know Pachacuti, who is one of the healers that channels through shamanic healers like myself when we do our work. But additionally, I also have my own lineage shaman spirit that works with me. But in that Andean and Bolivian method, Pachacuti is the higher realm, the upper world. So, in this place of the upper world, my query was, is this one of the new earth realms? Is it because I had already built a house there? I was getting to know the lay of the land, and so originally we would do this to not be lost when you do die. So you get out of the physical life alive with your consciousness intact. That's the goal. But now I'm seeing there's a double overlay here that actually, so what the information was given to me about this is, yes, it's a higher, lighter frequency realm, but it is possible for some people to also be embodied there. So it is possible that I might be going to that realm. But if not, we see nobody, even the multidimensionals, even the all that is with 1,000 names, yet is the nameless one, doesn't know how Earth and humanity is going to roll out into this timeline of the new Earth. Exactly how it happens is all left up into the choices that are made and the human frequency. And so my guides showed it as many bands of reality. There's so many levels because there's going to be people at all different levels. And so you will go to the corresponding level that is appropriate for you. So since I've been spending so much time there, they said in case it's not that exact layer frequency, you just bring the blueprint down. So, I mean, this is unique to me, but it might help you also. The point is, start taking up residency. Use your Merkaba if you've activated your Merkaba to go there, or use your spirit guides, use the ways that you know how to use to start going. Astral travel. You don't need a bunch of rules and protocols to astral travel. There's a couple easy ways, like on the exhale, you just breathe out a white mist, see your body lift. Maybe you see a veil, or you just go through that white mist and you're out. All right, try it because it doesn't need to be complicated. Those of us who've been working in shamanic journeys for however long, we do it automatically. maybe it does take a little bit of practice, and that's only to satisfy the ego mind that likes to doubly negate what you're doing. Okay, that negative ego that never loves you, doesn't have your back, and really doesn't care about your survival. However, it's a reptilian survival brain. It makes no sense. I'm still grappling with why we have this um negative ego brain that never loves us, is the truth of it. It will never love you, and it doesn't care, and it doesn't have your back. So how is that a survival brain? But anyway, I have news from Maria and Kendrick. Kedrick, there's no N in it. I keep saying it wrong. Who live in that realm. Okay, so I visited this morning. I wanted to get an update and see how they're doing, and just check in with the friends that I had met. And so I went using the Merkaba. And I bring my shaman spirit. I also invite my current cat so I can see her there too. And so she knows the way there too. And sometimes I take my power animal also because I forget sometimes. And I try and keep also her included in my journeys. So we all went. And um my cat started running around right away, and because they live in the forest, so I didn't go to my house. I went to their place, and it was pretty fast. We just pretzel around in the universe, like the outer whatever you call it, and we popped up in the realm through some kind of wormhole. That's why I use guides, because they know the way. And the Merkaba is an automatic 5-dimensional vehicle. It knows the way. And that's why it's going to take you exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't have to know anything, because we don't know. Now, when I got there, um, Hedrick was out, but Maria was there, and she heard me rustling around and came out of the house and said hello. And then, so we were happy to see each other. And I said, "What's the news? Give me the update." And I'm going to try and remember everything, because it's hard to keep track of it without having a voice recorder on, which I kind of wish I did, because I did audibly reply sometimes. Anyway, I digress. So it goes like this. She said, "Yeah, I said, "Are you living here all the time? How's it going? What's happening?" And she said, "Yeah, they are now living there all the time." And I said, "How are you doing it?" And so here's the new news. The way you live by location, two places, so you still have your physical body on earth, yet your consciousness and your soul part is there. So, like your higher self, you can, from up there in the high, I say up because the higher, lighter frequencies, you can then direct what's going on down here. And you can, keep yourself alive, basically, while you're still on this 3D binary, bipolar, oppositional world of third density. So here's what they're doing. They still have jobs, they still go to work and do all that. And she laughed. I said, "How do you pay, get money and eat and survive?" And she said, "Well, it's really not that hard to do. People are on autopilot all the time anyway. So we can be up here and we just go to work and do the thing, and nobody notices that their consciousness and their soul is actually elsewhere." I said, "Well, what if you meet with friends?" They said it's funny because nobody realizes that they're not there. Most people, their souls are strung out anyway, on a string out, not in your body. Most people are not merged with their soul at all. In fact, I just did a video recently on the soul merge. It's really beautiful. It came in the new moon transmission just last week. So look for that soul merge video, because this helps with your manifesting. How can you be a great creator, manifester, when your soul is on a string many realms away? Can't, unless you're a logic, brain-based ego, probably a narcissist, because they don't judge it. Good. They don't look at manifesting as good, bad, right, wrong. Yes, I deserve all the riches in the world, and why shouldn't I? At any expense to anyone, I shall have it. And this is how they manifest and live in opulence. Have you noticed how all their narcissists always have the money, always live in a beautiful place? So I'm also creating a tiny course on creating from the heart, the female way of manifesting, which is what I've been doing is since my early years. And it always worked. Some of it was super fast, some of it took a little longer, but I was always covered, even though I worried incessantly. Miracles definitely came through, whereas they haven't in the last 20 years that I've been doing. Once The Secret came out, I thought, oh my gosh, this is the way to do it. And I doubted what I was doing intuitively, because there was no word of manifesting back then. I was just doing this thing that I knew it was important to do to bring in and create how I really want to be in life. And then The Secret came out, and this word of manifesting became more and more and more popular, and everybody, and I myself included, and we were hoodwinked into thinking that this is the way it works, and it doesn't. Okay, there's a reason it doesn't work for people. If you're not a narcissist and you're probably female, this doesn't work for us at all, because firstly, we have worthiness issues. And the second and third thoughts come in and say, but you're going to be taking from somebody. Do you really need all that? You're doing okay. Just be comfortable with this. But this is like barely enough or not enough. And okay, there are women also with a lot of abundance and living very well, and having incredible incomes with their own business, whether they're married or not, whether their partner brings in more money or and supports them or not. There are many women who are independently successful this way, and so great. But there's a whole lot more of us that aren't. And so I've been going and doing what I knew to do early on in life. I'm doing that now again. And a lot of it is going dreamy, spending time daydreaming, and really seeing yourself and thinking up all the different ways that you really would like to be or would like to see in your life. So I'm going to be doing a course on that. Look out for that. I'm just trying to figure out now how to put it online and gather a live audience to make it more interactive. Okay, so that's coming. And meanwhile, so Maria and Kedrick said, what you do is to live up there, you separate your soul in like a shadow, in a ghostly way. So it's not the whole soul. So once you do the soul merge, you're going to be able to manifest better than anyway. Then you allow part of your soul to be up there and keep living up there all the time while you're down here kind of on autopilot. Just let your body live out on autopilot, and you can still be heart connected, you can still be enjoying and this life and doing all the things, but just knowing that, and your soul will still be merged, because I had to double check all this. So I said, but I don't want to be separate from my soul. And they said, no, you just take a section of it, like you know how chickpeas, this just came to mind, have that little shell and it looks like a ghost. Okay, where I live, we boil our own chickpeas. They don't come in cans. So if you know about chickpeas, you got to soak them overnight, and then these little shells come off. They're like ghost shells. So that goes, okay, so that is like a shell of your soul, but your whole soul is the chickpea. And it's still with you. And but that other one goes up there, just the shell. And this way you're residing there, you're manifesting and operating your life from the higher frequency, directing what's going on down here. And you get to enjoy up there because it's really fun. There's no work, for one. You get to play in the landscape, be in nature. They were even having some community parties, and I said, and the guy, that's where the guy was, Kedrick, he was setting up some kind of table or game experience, and I said, "Oh, are there that many people here?" And they said, "Yeah, it's starting to be." I said, "Even kids and families?" And they said, um, "Not that many families with the kids yet, but there was one or two families with children." And so, and they said, "Oh, it's so easy to organize these events. There are no rules. You just set up what you want." And I love that. I don't like participating in these over-organized community things where you have to get this and that permission, and then you have to, whatever the rules are. I just can't deal with rules. So this was great news. I would definitely participate. I would even offer some things if it's going to be easy like that, and you don't have to go through some snarky committee. And so that's what I'm discovering in the earth realm that I go to. So let me know about your realm. Take the trip, use the tools. Remember, there are three ways. Either activate your Merkaba, which I'm starting to think maybe I should do Merkaba activation teaching training. It's a bit complicated though, and I just think if you learn it from Melchizedek himself, that you'll get the full scope of it, and you'll get there's a old version and there's a new version. So the new version is where you go to the tiny place in your heart, the sacred space in your heart, and you just bring the third eye right out here in front of your forehead, the length of your um there. So from there, and from so oops. So that far out. Can you see this? This is why I don't want to teach it. But it's pretty simple once you understand all of the geometry, and hearing from him maybe more credible, as a Melchizedek high order being, direct from source, direct from all that is, saying, "Hey, look, manifesting from the heart is a very successful way and doesn't damage anyone else." Whereas he said he couldn't believe when The Secret came out that such a thing would be unleashed into mainstream community, mainstream population, because it's so dangerous. It doesn't care. It will take and get at the expense of any other person. So this is another reason why I'm really wanting to spread that information and the other way, especially since I've used it so successfully for the first 30 years of my life. And the last 20 years hasn't gone very well. And I have been using that brain-based way. And I think that that's why. So I'm stopping and I'm switching back. All right. Now, I had an interesting contact with a question I thought I would share for everyone. And this is about how to stay calm amidst the chaos. Okay, so we can look at, there was two parts. It was how to stay calm amidst the chaos, but especially because when there's no money coming in. So let me just read what this person said, what this person wrote. How can we cut out money and live without it? There must be many people thinking about this. It feels so relevant right now. And I need to calm my mind and, how to stay calm when no income is coming in. So that's the issue. Let's talk about it. All right. Firstly, the manifesting thing stands true. The female way of manifesting is the way to get into flow, into the universal flow with you, also going inward. I know you're listening to me right now, an external voice, but really limit the amount of external voices you allow in and start using your own. Open the Akashic records and do your own automatic writing. This is the most personalized, individualized advice and life support and guidance you can get. And so automatic writing is great because you don't have to think. You just do the typing and whatever comes. There's no time for second and third thoughts with automatic writing. You see, that's why it's great. Now, about staying calm. Because I lived in India for 5 years and I love it. And I love everything about India. And it was really a marvelous time in my life. Of course, there were challenges, but this is not to say anything negative about that chaos that is there. I mean, even the people who live there joke about it, know about it. It's like once you step outside your door, the honking and the chaos and the cows and the old men on bicycles and the traffic, and it never stops. It literally goes all night, all the time. And it's noisy. And there's stuff everywhere, flowers and stalls and stands, and whether you're in a village or a city, there is just like there's constantly stuff, and beautiful little stalls and stands and shops and people walking. A lot of people walk on pilgrimage, and so there's constant movement. It's constant chaos, if you want to see it like that. And even crossing the streets really hard, very difficult. I almost got run over by a bus one time standing on the sidewalk. I was on the side, well onto a sidewalk, and waiting for the auto rickshaw to come pick me up, and he wasn't there, and I was getting angry because it was late, and guess what? And I was looking the other way. Guess what came from here? A huge metal bus. And like, if I had even moved, it would have knocked my nose off. It was that close. I honestly, to this day, think that was one of my exit points. I really could have died for sure. And nobody was there. I was by myself. I left work a little late and I was standing by myself waiting for the auto rickshaw. And then that happened. And I'm like, whoa, that was a really close call. So back to the chaos. Do you see what I mean? How do you stay calm? Well, couple things. And I'm in fact doing this right now, even that I live in a pretty calm place, but I just don't want to deal with what's going on outside. Often I go outside and people start following me around, and um um especially guys, they want to talk to me, and and we don't even speak the same language. But if I just go to the stones to meditate, it's like some guy following me, and I hate that. And then um I still go out sometimes, but then I just don't want to deal with it, you know? So that's what happens, especially that's how it was when I lived in India. You don't have to go out if you don't want to. You can be in your own home sanctuary and don't feel guilty if it's a beautiful day and you're indoors. This is where you need to be with yourself and zooming inwardly and connecting with your own life flow and what you want to bring into the world and just enjoying what you have going on inside your space. And hopefully you still have views from the window of the colors and the nature outside. So, like, I always make sure that I have that because I do spend a lot of time in my own interior sanctuary. I spend a lot of time, and that's okay. This is not a bad thing. Don't feel guilty about staying in. And also, feel in your body. Does it feel heavy or light if you're going to go meet with some friends? Or is it time to go for a walk now or later? And then decide. And just, you just decide intuitively from moment to moment to moment to guide you. And that's really how to survive in the chaos is when you go out, also, you can, because I was often walking. I did have a car eventually, but I still did a lot of walking. And in the car, it was like mobile sanctuary. I think you've heard of that before. I love that one. And I'd play the music, and there could be throngs of people walking and like a flood moving all around the car and like creeping along like this just to get anywhere because it was such chaos. But, I turn on this music that kept me focused, kept me energized, and I just moved through it. And that's how it is in India. Everyone you just adjust, and you move through everything and you get there. And who knows when or timing, but you get there and everything's fine. And there were very few road accidents, there were very few injuries and stuff because nobody went fast. That's another interesting thing. So literally for chaos, slow down, slow down, everything. Slow down how soon or urgent things need to be done, deadlines, what deadlines are real, what deadlines are fake or made up, forced. Slow down your breathing. That's the biggest for all of us. Slow down your voice. Slow down your sleeping. Let yourself sleep longer. I've been sleeping a lot longer. I've also been eating a lot less, which I heard from some other sources that that's one of the first signs of ascension, that you are vibrating at a higher level. I mean, I only ate 2 meals a day usually, but I would get hungry. I don't even get hungry now. It's almost I have not eaten yet today, and it's 4 o'clock. I don't know how that happens, but and I'm not hungry yet, and I'll eat maybe after this. That was never the case before, but I'm also not working and surrounded by throngs of people, and that would always reduce my energy, and then I would get hungry, I think, from all that energy and movement with other people. So there's that, your sleep, your food, slow everything down and just eat when you're hungry if you can do that. I know sometimes we have to eat in advance because we know we're going to crash later if we don't eat now. And, when you're working, that's really important too. And just slow down and decide from moment to moment to moment what you want to do, in your life, in your free time? How do you want to spend that valuable time? And so I think that covers it, especially with the chaos, how to deal with money when there's no money coming in. Their money will come. Trust, keep energizing it from the heart and dreaming who you want to be, how you want to feel. Daydream, spend the whole day in the park if it's a nice weather out, by yourself, no distractions, no music, and just daydream, or laying on your bed or the sofa and daydream this stuff into being. That is the key part of the female way of manifesting. There's a little more to it, but basically that's the secret part. I shouldn't use secret, but it is. It's like the thing that we've been taught not to do, that it's so bad to daydream. And this is exactly what humans need to do and need to develop if they want to be creators and manifestors of their own reality. Is the daydreaming, is that creation, visualization, imagination. Okay. Have a wonderful rest of your day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening.